Motorhome prices are out of control right now. But there's a secret the industry wishes you'd ignore.
After a year of COVID restrictions, hitting the open road this summer could make for a great escape. But if you go,
a tiny handful of older rigs, all under $5,000, are outlasting the new models by decades. They don't break down. They don't come back to the shop. And that's exactly why mechanics can't stand them. Buyers who know about them are snatching them up within hours, while everyone else overpays for fragile, tech-loaded headaches. But here's the shocker. Most people don't even realize these older beasts still exist. Let's start with number 11, 1997, Lazy Daze, 26.5. Some motorhomes show their strength quietly, and the 1997 Lazy Daze 26.5 is one of those machines. It comes from a small California builder that stayed loyal to solid methods long after mainstream manufacturers shifted to cheaper materials. This coach uses hand-riveted aluminum panels instead of laminated walls, creating a shell that resists moisture, separation, and the long list of failures that drain repair budgets. When you look at inspection records from Western auction sites, you will notice something important. Many units from this exact year still show dry ceilings, tight corners, and clean joints, which is rare for anything of this age. That is the kind of result you only get from durable construction, not luck. Beneath that body sits the familiar Ford E-Series foundation, a platform used for ambulances and fleet vans that routinely reach 250,000 miles with consistent care. Owners frequently report that the steering and suspension still feel steady even when the odometer shows 150,000 or more. The drivetrain stays approachable because everything is mechanical, organized, and accessible. No complicated modules, no fragile screens, and no buried electronics that require specialist tools. If something needs attention, you can see it, reach it, and repair it without turning every fix into a major bill. Inside, the build feels purposeful rather than decorative. Cabinets use real hardwood, not thin veneer. Hinges are metal and firmly mounted. Floors remain solid because the substructure was built thick, not hollow. Nothing depends on software. Nothing feels fragile. This construction style prevents the sagging, peeling, and soft floor problems that appear in many newer models. Avoiding those repairs protects every dollar you keep in your pocket, especially when modern Class C units often lose $30,000 to $40,000 of value faster than expected. Taken together, the 1997 Lazy Daze 26.5 represents what dependable engineering once meant. It delivers steadiness without demanding constant attention, and it keeps repair costs predictable. Now, the next entry shows how another builder used similar discipline to solve a different reliability challenge. These details still matter when reliability truly counts everywhere today. 2001 Bigfoot 24 RB. Some motorhomes survive winter. This one was shaped by it. The 2001 Bigfoot 24 RB was built in British Columbia, where cold exposes every weakness in a coach that was not designed with discipline. Yet year after year, this model shows up in northern inspection logs with dry ceilings, firm floors, and shells that still ring solid when tapped. That consistency is not luck. It is the result of choices other builders abandoned long ago. Its exterior is a single molded fiberglass shell. No seams to split, no panels to swell, no joints to chase with sealant every season. Insulation is thick and layered, not decorative foam. The heated and enclosed underbelly shields, tanks, and lines when temperatures fall to levels that create four-figure repair bills for owners of lighter construction. When you read comments from Alberta and Montana inspectors, you often see the same phrase, no delamination. That is a rare statement for any motorhome of this age. Underneath, the Ford E450 chassis supports the Triton 510 engine, a combination known for steady compression, well past 200,000 miles when maintained. It is dependable because the systems remain mechanical and direct. No fragile screens, no buried modules, no electronic networks waiting to fail at the worst time. Owners regularly note that temperature readings stay stable and oil use remains predictable, even as mileage climbs. Predictability protects money, and this platform makes that protection real. Inside, the Bigfoot feels grounded and practical. Real wood cabinets stay tight. Double-pane windows reduce drafts and quiet the cabin. Floors stay firm because the substructure was built thick. Every feature exists for durability, not flash. The 2001 Bigfoot 24RB demonstrates what careful engineering delivers when the goal is longevity, not shortcuts. And the next model on this list proves that smart design can stretch space without adding fragile complexity out on the road everywhere. If this list is already opening your eyes to what still holds real value, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Share your own experience in the comments, because your insight can help others avoid costly mistakes and make smarter choices. 1989. Winnebago Warrior. Reliability often reveals itself in the simplest places, and the 1989 Winnebago Warrior proves that truth every mile. It rides on the Toyota truck platform, a foundation built long before modern electronics complicated dependable travel. You can see evidence of that strength in inspection logs from California, where units older than 30 years still pass emissions without complaint. The 3.0-liter 5.6 engine is known for steady compression, predictable temperature behavior, and mileage numbers that often exceed 250,000 when cared for. Owners frequently mention that the drivetrain responds cleanly even at high mileage, and repairs remain simple because everything stays mechanical and reachable. There is no maze of fragile sensors hidden behind panels, no software demands, and no surprise modules waiting to fail at the worst possible moment. Inside, the Warrior uses materials that remain sturdy through decades of vibration, including real wood cabinetry and secure mounting points that resist the loosening common in lighter builds. Floors stay firm because the structure beneath them was built thick rather than thin, and that decision prevents costly soft spot repairs later in the coach's life. Even the wiring harness reflects straightforward thinking, with clear routing and accessible runs that avoid the hidden failure issues found in newer construction. Auction listings from Oregon and Washington show many of these units still carrying original roofs without major water intrusion, a detail that speaks to proper sealing rather than luck. Patterns like these protect long-term costs because every avoided repair keeps money where it belongs instead of flowing into preventable service bills. Decades of owner reports show that this platform handles long highway stretches, steep mountain grades, and repeated seasonal storage without developing the structural fatigue, electrical issues, or drivetrain strain that often appear in modern designs built with lighter materials. The 1989 Winnebago Warrior stands today as proof that straightforward engineering outlasts shortcuts. And the next model in this countdown shows how a different manufacturer approached longevity with equal discipline. 1992 Toyota Dolphin. Some motorhomes earn loyalty through refinement, but the 1992 Toyota Dolphin earned it through endurance. This model carries the legendary Toyota 2.4-liter 22RE engine, an inline-4 known for reaching 350,000 miles when maintained with simple routine service. Owner logs across Toyota forums show repeated examples of Dolphins passing state inspections with steady compression and predictable emissions even after decades of real travel. Walk around the exterior and the structure feels honest. The fiberglass shell avoids the thin, flexible panels seen on newer builds, and the mounting points stay tight because the frame was designed to balance weight over the rear axle. Balanced weight prevents premature suspension wear and reduces the sway that often breaks cabinets loose in cheaper construction. Wiring is routed cleanly, not buried behind inaccessible panels. So troubleshooting stays straightforward. You can reach what you need without wrestling hidden compartments or digging through narrow access points that complicate simple repairs. Inside, the Dolphin uses real wood cabinetry and firm anchor points, features that survive vibration and temperature change far better than lightweight alternatives. Floors remain solid because the substructure uses thicker material rather than hollow composites. Every surface feels intentional, not decorative. Nothing depends on software. Nothing relies on delicate sensors to operate essential systems. That simplicity keeps repair bills low and prevents the cascading failures that appear in younger models. Auction listings from California and Washington repeatedly note minimal roof damage, dry corners, and structurally sound joints. Inspectors frequently mention that these units pass moisture checks with no roof sag, no wall bubbling, and no soft flooring. Those confirmations add up. They reveal a rig that holds its shape, protects its internals, and keeps maintenance predictable. The 1992 Toyota Dolphin demonstrates what long-lasting engineering looks like when durability is the priority. And the next entry in this countdown shows how another compact design turned rugged practicality into lasting value everywhere. It remains one of the most trusted compact motorhomes ever built today. 1998, Gulfstream Conquest. Durability often shows itself in the details no one advertises, and the 1998 Gulfstream Conquest reveals those details the moment you study how it was built. This coach rides on the Ford E350, or Ford E450 foundation, platforms used for commercial fleets that routinely reach 250,000 miles with routine maintenance. Auction records from Missouri, Kansas, and Ohio repeatedly show late 1990s Conquest models, passing compression checks with steady readings and no major structural notes. Proof of a design that holds up when tested. Walk around the exterior and you notice the thicker wall structure Gulfstream relied on during this era. The framing was heavier, the fastening points were stronger, and the sidewalls resisted flex better than the lightweight panels common in modern construction. That reduction in flex prevents seam splitting, cabinet loosening, and stress cracks issues that quickly drain repair budgets in younger models built to chase weight targets instead of longevity. Inspectors frequently mention tight corners, dry compartments, and stable roof lines on surviving units, confirmation that the build choices were intentional rather than decorative. Inside, the layout feels honest and usable. Cabinetry is made from real wood, not thin laminate veneer. Hinges feel secure. Drawers stay aligned. The subfloor was built with thicker material, which is why so many Conquest units avoid the soft spot failures that appear in newer designs. Wiring is simple and reachable, with organized routing that makes troubleshooting clear. No fragile touch panels, no software-based systems demanding constant resets, just practical equipment that works when needed. The 1998 Gulfstream Conquest stands as an example of what steady engineering can deliver when shortcuts are off the table. It holds its shape, protects long-term repair costs, and keeps maintenance predictable. Owners report that the structure stays quiet on the highway with minimal vibration. Those confirmations show why this model continues to appear in dependable rig discussions in the used market consistently. 1993 Born Free. 22 RB. Strength takes many forms, but the 1993 Born Free 22 RB expresses it in a way few motorhomes ever attempted. This coach was engineered around a welded steel safety cage, a feature so uncommon in the motorhome world that even service technicians still point it out during inspections. That cage runs through the body from front to rear, reinforcing the structure the same way automotive rollover protection does. It is not decorative. It is not symbolic. It is functional steel that keeps the cabin stable when lesser builds twist, flex, or separate with age. The fiberglass shell that surrounds that cage is equally purposeful. Panels were molded thick, anchored to the frame with secure mounting points, and sealed with materials that hold up under long-term vibration. Auction reports from states such as Colorado, Indiana, and Wisconsin repeatedly show born-free units from this era passing moisture tests with dry readings in corners that normally fail on other brands. When inspectors note no soft flooring on a coach built more than 30 years ago, that is a sign of deliberate construction rather than fortune. Underneath, the Ford E350 platform supports the 7.5-liter V8 engine, a dependable power plant known for reaching 200,000 miles when serviced with consistent oil changes and cooling system care. Owners often mention that the drivetrain feels confident on long grades, with stable temperature behavior and predictable fuel use. Mechanical systems remain accessible and straightforward, meaning repairs avoid the inflated labor costs associated with modern electronic networks. Predictability in maintenance protects long-term spending, and this platform rewards that discipline. Inside, the Born Free 22 RB blends function and calm refinement. Real wood cabinetry stays firm. Hinges remain aligned. The layout is compact but efficient, with storage built into solid anchor points rather than thin partitions. Windows fit tightly, keeping drafts down and reducing road noise. Floors stay steady because the substructure was built thick, not hollow. The 1993 Born Free 22RB stands as proof that thoughtful engineering outlasts trends. And the next model in this countdown shows how cold weather design can deliver another form of lasting reliability. If you want more breakdowns that cut through the noise and focus on what actually lasts, make sure you subscribe. The next chapters reveal details most buyers overlook. And staying with the channel ensures you never miss information that protects your money. 1994 Safari Trek. Ingenuity often separates a memorable motorhome from a forgettable one, and the 1994 Safari Trek demonstrates that principle with quiet confidence. It was designed at a time when builders still believed engineering should solve space problems, not electronics or complex extensions. The signature feature of this coach is the Magic Bed, a ceiling-mounted sleeping system that lowers smoothly when needed and rises cleanly when not, turning a compact footprint into a livable interior without relying on fragile slide-out mechanisms. That decision alone prevents the four-figure repair bills that come when modern slide systems fail under regular use. The exterior construction reflects the same discipline. Instead of lightweight walls, the Safari Trek uses an aluminum-framed structure supported by welded steel rails that hold shape under stress. This reduces flex, keeps the roofline stable, and minimizes the separation that often appears on younger models built with thinner materials. Inspectors reviewing older Trek units frequently comment on straight wall alignment, tight joint lines, and clean moisture readings, even after decades of road vibration. These notes appear often enough to show it is not coincidence, but intentional build quality. Underneath, the Chevrolet P30 chassis supports a 7.4-liter Phi-8 engine, known for long-term steadiness when maintained with consistent oil changes and cooling system care. Owners often mention that the drivetrain delivers predictable power on steep grades and holds temperature reliably in summer heat. Mechanical access remains clear, with components positioned for straightforward service rather than buried under decorative covers. That simplicity reduces labor time and keeps long-term costs approachable. Inside, the 1994 Safari Trek feels practical and deliberate. Real wood cabinetry anchors firmly, drawers travel smoothly, and the seating layout maximizes usable space without clutter. Floors stay firm because the substructure was built thick, not hollow. Lighting, switches, and essential controls rely on direct wiring instead of software-dependent interfaces. Every decision reflects durability, not novelty. The 1994 Safari Trek stands as proof that smart engineering outlasts shortcuts. And the model that follows shows how aluminum craftsmanship can deliver another form of dependable longevity. 1996 Airstream Land Yacht. Some motorhomes draw attention with size, but the 1996 Airstream Land Yacht does it with discipline and materials that stand the test of time. This coach carries the same aluminum craftsmanship that defined the company's travel trailers for decades, using riveted aircraft-grade panels instead of glued composite sheets. Each panel is shaped to shed water, disperse stress, and maintain structural integrity, even after long seasons of heat, humidity, and vibration. Auction listings from coastal states such as Florida and South Carolina often show these older land yachts with exterior shells still shining, free of the bubbling and separation common on younger builds. The aluminum body works alongside a marine-inspired insulation system that keeps temperature swings under control without relying on complicated climate equipment. That detail matters because predictable insulation reduces strain on heating and cooling systems, which protects long-term upkeep costs. Beneath the body, the Chevrolet P30 chassis pairs with the 7.4-liter V8 engine, a platform known for steady performance on long hauls when maintained with routine oil and cooling system care. Inspectors frequently note stable compression numbers and consistent temperature readings even on high-mileage units, revealing mechanical dependability that continues long after the odometer pushes past 150,000 miles. Inside, the land yacht expresses durability through calm, solid materials. Real walnut cabinetry holds firm because it uses secure mounting points rather than decorative fasteners. Hinges stay aligned, drawers track smoothly, and interior walls resist vibration because the frame was engineered to distribute movement instead of fighting it. Floors remain solid thanks to a thicker substructure, avoiding the hollow feel and soft spot failures found in lighter, modern construction. Systems are mechanical, direct, and accessible, reducing the risk of electronic failures that often surprise owners of newer coaches. Every detail reflects a builder committed to longevity rather than shortcuts. That is why the 1996 Airstream land yacht continues to earn respect decades after leaving the factory. And the model that comes next shows how compact engineering can create strength through simplicity in a completely different way. 1995, Coachmen Leprechaun. Longevity does not happen by accident, and the 1995 Coachmen Leprechaun is a clear example of a motorhome built with materials and methods that still hold their ground over long years of real use. This model uses the Chevrolet 350 cubic inch V8 engine, a power plant known for durability, predictable maintenance needs, and inexpensive parts that remain widely available. When maintained with routine oil changes and cooling system care, this engine commonly reaches 200,000 miles or more without major internal work, a claim supported by numerous service logs and owner reports. The chassis itself relies on a full steel ladder frame, not a lightweight alternative. That structure resists twisting forces on uneven roads and keeps cabinets aligned, doors square, and interior walls steady. Inspectors often comment on straight roof lines, tight corner seams, and firm floor sections, even on higher mileage Leprechaun units. Those notes reveal a consistent pattern of reliability that mirrors how this model was originally engineered. Inside, the layout reflects an era when builders aimed for reliability first. Cabinets are real wood, supported by solid anchor points. Hinges remain durable. Drawers track cleanly without wobble. The subfloor uses thicker material rather than thin composites, reducing the risk of soft spot failures that often lead to costly repairs. Systems are mechanical and direct, avoiding the software-based controls that dominate modern coaches. That simplicity keeps repairs honest and predictable. Electrical routing is organized and accessible, allowing troubleshooting without tearing into hidden panels. The plumbing layout is straightforward as well, with components placed thoughtfully rather than stacked tightly out of reach. Every choice shows intention, not shortcuts. Across many recorded ownership reports, the 1995 Coachmen Leprechaun performs consistently on long highway runs and short journeys. Temperature stays steady. Ride quality remains composed. Essential systems respond smoothly. The 1995 Coachmen Leprechaun stands as an example of how steady engineering outlasts shortcuts. And the next model in this countdown reveals how a single-piece fiberglass design can elevate reliability even further. 1990 Chinook Concourse. Reliability can be engineered, and the 1990 Chinook Concourse proves that point with a construction approach few motorhomes ever used. This model was built around a single-piece fiberglass shell, molded as one continuous structure with no seams to split and no panels to loosen. That unified body blocks moisture, avoids rot, and keeps the coach rigid even after decades of vibration. Inspection notes from Oregon, Washington, and Idaho often show these older concourse units passing moisture checks with dry readings in corners where many other coaches fail. Under that shell sits the Ford E350 platform, paired with the Triton V8 engine. Owners routinely report steady compression readings even as mileage climbs toward 200,000. Provided oil and cooling system service stays consistent, the mechanical layout avoids unnecessary electronics and keeps essential components easy to reach. That simplicity reduces labor time and keeps maintenance affordable. Temperature behavior stays predictable, and drivetrain wear remains manageable on long highway stretches and slow climbs. Inside, The Chinook Concourse emphasizes durability over decoration. Real wood cabinetry anchors into a rigid shell, keeping joints tight. Windows fit firmly to reduce drafts and road noise. Floors stay solid because the substructure is stronger, not hollow. The compact layout uses space deliberately, providing seating and storage without clutter. Direct wired switches and controls avoid software failures. Auction records show clean roofs, intact fiberglass, and firm flooring. Owners report manageable upkeep because systems remain accessible, keeping repairs predictable and affordable. The 1990 Zero Chinook Concourse stands as evidence that deliberate engineering can outlast trends. And the final entry ahead shows how endurance can appear in a smaller frame with an even simpler mechanical foundation. 2004 Fleetwood Tioga. Reliability often fades as manufacturers chase lower costs. But the 2004 Fleetwood Tioga marks the final moment before widespread shortcuts transformed the market. This model was built on the Ford E450 chassis, supported by the Triton Phi-10 engine, a power plant known for reaching 200,000 miles when maintained with routine care. Service logs from Arizona and Texas show these units passing compression checks with balanced readings, which confirms mechanical steadiness rather than luck. The frame construction matters as much as the drivetrain. Fleetwood used thicker pre-2005 steel, giving the Tioga a strong underbody that resists twisting forces and keeps the coach aligned over years of real travel. That stability protects cabinets, walls, and roof components. Inspectors reviewing older Tioga models often note tight seams, straight roof lines, and clean moisture readings even in regions with high heat exposure. Those comments reveal a build that was engineered to endure. Inside, the Tioga reflects a time when manufacturers valued function over novelty. Subfloors use plywood instead of foam sandwich composites. Countertops feel solid. Cabinets are anchored with steel brackets rather than adhesives that weaken with age. Drawers stay aligned. Hinges remain firm. Systems rely on direct mechanical controls instead of fragile touch panel interfaces. Every choice was centered on durability, not convenience for the assembly line. Electrical and plumbing systems remain accessible, with clean wiring and spaced fittings that limit joint strain. The Tioga's ride stays composed, temperature steady, and power predictable, while its structure keeps the cabin quieter than newer builds. Its disciplined construction endures beyond shifting market trends, preserving long-term value through proven stability. If this list opened your eyes to what actually lasts on the road, make sure you hit that like button. Drop a comment below and tell us which rig surprised you the most, or which one you've owned yourself. Your experience helps other buyers avoid expensive mistakes. And if you want more breakdowns that cut through the hype and show you the motorhomes that actually hold up, don't forget to subscribe.